Hi everyone, it is Natalie from Being Intentionally Creative. Today is a bit of a show and tell. I want to show you some of the items I've been working on. Yesterday I spent quite a bit of time actually trying to come up with some ideas in regard to the earrings that I'm making. I'm always looking for something different. I've said that before and I'll probably say it again. I like unusual. I like something that's going to catch people's attention and create a conversation. That's what most of my art pieces are about. And I am constantly on a playground, if you will, of taking different things I have already from an art perspective and seeing what I can mix and match to come up with different ideas. Sometimes it works, sometimes it does not. Anyway, I had a bit of success yesterday with one idea I was playing with. I was actually I wanted to make pieces look like they had water droplets on it. And I'm going to turn around just for a second. I'm back. And I don't know if you're going to be able to see on here. I can get the angle right. And I'm sort of there. You might be able to see, it almost looks like there are droplets of water on this, or it's as if water's been spilt on this piece. And I was doing that because I thought, how cool would it be if I could create earrings and had that water effect on it? So I used some of the dylusions diamond, and I want to say crystals. I could be wrong on that. I'll link down in the description below what exactly I used. And I melted that onto this piece. I did it a couple of times, and I do like how it came out. I wish you could see that better. Anyway, it created a really cool effect. So I thought, let's do some more playing. And I actually played a little bit more with that on some pieces that sort of worked out and pieces that didn't. But I did try it on these earrings that I'm working on. And I don't know if you can make out on there or not. Oh, there you go. You can see that bit of a ripple effect. And on this side, I put too much. So I said, okay, on the other side, don't go as crazy. And I think you can see it a little bit there. Again, I don't think when you're videotaping anything, you're ever going to see it as clearly as you want to. But in person, it looks really awesome. And so I want to play with that concept a little more and see if I can't create that a bit better. Instead of just, putting droplets of UV resin on something and then curing that to give you droplets as such, I want something that looks more natural. And that's what I'm playing with. So I don't think I'm going to put resin on these earrings that I'm making because I'm afraid if I do that, then I'm going to take away from that effect that I'm making, and I don't want to. Granted, you'd have to be a little more careful with these. These are made with cardstock and washi tape, and that's all that these are. And of course, the double-sided tape that I've got holding this all together. So you'd want to be really careful. And I think probably with most of my earrings, I would tell people, be gentle with them, because if you rough and tumble with them, you could, if specifically these, you could bend them out of shape, and then what good are they going to be to you? And I'd hate to see if someone buys something and, not treat them as kindly as maybe they would want to, and then them be ruined, because that's really unfortunate. Anyway, I'm not done with these yet. I'm still trying to debate whether I just want them, and they may not, just have a stud going through your ear like that, whether I want to drop them a little bit. And I most definitely want something in the center of these, because I think they need something extra. They're not quite the way I want them yet. And the other thing I want to be able to do is have it so that you can wear these earrings either way. So whether you wear them like this or whether you wear them this side. And I have a trick for that. When I get these done, I'll show them to you again. Now, one of the pair of earrings I had been working on, and I had done a square piece using ribbon. And I said, okay, that's great. This is working well for me. I want to make a pair of earrings out of these now, a legit pair of earrings, and I've done that. So I'm going to walk you through what I did with these. So if you want to try it yourself, obviously you're going to need ribbon. I have a wood blank that these are on, that the ribbon has been attached to. I put a double-sided tape, put the ribbon on it, and then cut around to get the shape, obviously. I put 2 coats of Mod Podge matte sealer on these very lightly. I didn't go heavy on them because I just wanted to get it on, get it set, and then I put the second coat on just so that when I did my UV resin, it didn't bubble up. Because as I told you, when I tried it with this square piece I had done, because I didn't put a sealer on it, the UV resin actually got underneath the ribbon and pushed it up. So for these, I just did 2 coats of Mod Podge matte. And then the very first coat of UV resin I put on these was a very thin coat, just enough so that I could get it protected before I put the second coat on. And even the second coat, I didn't put a really heavy coat of UV resin. I'd almost started putting a third coat on and I went, no, I don't think these need it. I did add sparkles into the second coat of UV resin, and I don't know if we're going to be able to pick that up, but I think you can maybe get a little bit of sparkle. If we were standing outside in the sun, you'd definitely be able to see them. I also did 2 coats, I believe, of UV resin right around the edge of this. I wanted that sealed as well. One to give it some more shine. Also because I thought if I do around the edges here, then I'm going to protect the ribbon as well from, potentially, I don't think it would, but from potentially pulling up over time. So I very carefully sealed around, and I did that twice. I don't think I did that 3 times. Isn't that great? I'm giving you a direction. I don't know how many times I've done something, but 2 for sure, maybe a third, but I don't think so. Anyway, and then I made my own jump ring. This is actually pink. You're not going to be able to see that in the video, but it is pink. But I love how these turned out. Like, I'm really pleased with how these turned out. And I took my time. I let everything sit for at least 24 hours before I went on to my next step, because I thought I want these to come out and I want them to look the way I want them to look. So that, and I put things on both sides. I cannot handle pieces that are only one-sided. It drives me nuts. I'm like that with my Christmas ornaments as well. I don't like anything that's one-sided. I think that if you're hanging something up, depending on how things spin, it's nice to have something on the other side. And so there we have it. They're done. I plan on wearing them so people can see how they look. And again, as I say, and I'll just throw these on so you can see that depending on, how they hang, you're going to see something on both sides. So it's not like one side's, just a blank color, or I need stuff on both sides. So that's where I'm at. Love how these turned out. And like I said, I took my time because I wanted them to be just right. Now I am also working on some more ribbon earrings. These are a totally different shape. And I've only got one side done so far. Still have the other side to do. And a little gadget. Okay, so I'm going to tell you about a couple of gadgets I have right now that are helping me. You'll notice the shape of these, and I tell you, it's a little hard with a pair of scissors to come in and cut in and around here. So I bought these pens. I've got a bag. I got 12 of them. And they've got a knife at the end of them. They're a pen knife if you want. They're an X-Acto knife at the end of this. And I'm using that very carefully to go around where I can't get in with my scissors. Just so, and I'm new at this, so I'm really having to take my time. And occasionally this wants to sort of get caught in the wood. So I'm taking my time and very methodically, if you will, going around and cutting whatever material I couldn't get with my scissors, because it's an odd shape, right? So I'm using this. The other tool I'm using is a brayer. Now, these are being used for the jelly plates that are out there. And I thought to myself, well, I don't know about you, but if you use your hand to press anything down your hand has some give to it, and it's not completely flat. So you're not going to get the adhesion that you'd necessarily want on something like this. So I took the brayer and I thought, okay, this is perfect. And I'm using it on a flat, hard surface. Again, some of the tables I have, they've got some give to them, so you're not getting, complete pressure all over the place. So I've got a table beside me and right behind me that is solid that I can put these down on, and then I just, go over top of them just to make sure these are stuck down really well before I put my Mod Podge sealant on it. Now the other thing you'll notice, so you can see the hole on this side, but if you see through, there's material on the other side. So you can't see you can see my thumb, but there's no hole up here. I went out and I bought, yeah, I know, I got a little crazy, and I'm not going to apologize for that. I get what I get, so it makes my life easier. So this, I will actually use to cut through that material so I have a hole, because to try and do that with even this precision pen, I'm going to mess it up. At least with this, I can put it to the right size, and then I can put the hole through. I can line it up. This isn't going to fit because it's the wrong size. Line it up, punch it through, and I'm done. So it may look like I'm going overboard. I'm okay with that. Whether you do that or not, that's totally up to you. So that's another tool I have in my repertoire of stuff. Okay, carrying on. A little while ago, I had shown you these pieces that I had made. And I made about 4 or 5 of them, and I made them out of different materials. So I had used resin-crete for one, I had used UV resin, I had used polyurethane, and I actually believe I may have made one out of regular, oh right, I did out of regular resin. I used something that was color shifting, whether it was hot or cold. So I thought, well, these might be kind of cool as earrings. And then I thought, well, they're a little big. They're not necessarily something I would wear, but I did decide that what might be cool is to make them into a pendant. And I don't know if that's showing up well on there. Oh, let's try the black. No, let's try another color. Now that one shows up a little bit better. So, as I hide myself out of this picture, right? Now let's get these lined up like that. Okay. So I thought, okay, cool. I like the idea of doing that. But I don't know if you can recall, but there used to be a hole in the center of this. And the reason being is that, for practical reasons, you'd hang this on your Christmas tree or hang it somewhere. So you'd need that hole to do it. And I thought, well, from a pendant perspective, that's not really going to work for me because I've got this piece at the top here. So what I decided to do was I filled that in with UV resin and put some sparkle in it because, well, why wouldn't I? And then what I'm going to do is I might put something on the back of this. I haven't quite decided with this one. But what I'm actually going to do is I have at the side here, as paper goes flying on the floor, I'm just going to drill a hole through the side of this. And then I can put in a necklace, and then you can hang it as a pendant. So imagine that this is hanging from there. And I thought this would be really cool. I like this one because it's got lots of glitter and shine to it. So it's going to catch the sun if you're outside with it. And I thought it gives it a dual purpose. Now, we're not just talking about an ornament, we're talking about a pendant, and it's pretty. I mean, I think these are really pretty. So I like the idea that I can make this multifunctional, which is always something that's really cool. Again, I kind of want it so that you can have it two-sided. This one I don't know what I'm doing with yet. However, not to leave you in the cold, here's another one I've done. This is the one that's made out of resin-crete. And resin-crete tends to have a bit of weight to it. So even if I did make these into earrings, because I thought someone might wear them, these are going to be too heavy for your ears. You're going to have them on for like 5 seconds and go, forget this noise. And I wouldn't want to make them too thin. I mean, this one's got a bit of thickness to it. It's thicker than this one. But even still, I think they'd be too heavy. So again, I filled in the center of this one with some sparkle. And I did something on the back of this one. So we're going to take this and flip it over, and I'm going to bring it right up to the camera. So you can see it's called a crushed olive that I've done it's supposed to be a leaf in there, this green. And then I took a stamp of a flower and I stamped it on in blue. And again, if you could see it in person, it does look a lot better. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a very thin coat of UV resin on the back of this to protect the design, because for me, most of these pieces I would wear over top of something, but it could still rub off. And if you are going to wear this with a tank top or something like that, it's going to rub against your body. And again, the oils from your body, I can see that pulling that design off, and I don't want that. So I will put at least one thin coat of UV resin on this, and possibly two, just to finish it off. And I intend, what I might do is I have now a product specifically for this type of material, and I've got it in matte. So I think what I might do is just seal this up around the side. But other than that, I really don't want to do anything to the side of this. I don't think it needs it. I'm more what's on the front, what's on the back kind of person. And again, I'll be able to drill a hole through the side of this, and then we'll be able to wear it as a pendant. Now you could also, there's also the ability to make it into a pin. This is a little bit big for a pin, so I'm not sure I would do that. However, again, there are people out there that really like big, bulky, chunky jewelry. So this could work. If you had a winter coat and it was black, this obviously would stand out really nicely against that. So that's another option, that I could turn these into pins that you could hang or put on a piece of clothing if you wanted to. So never think that something can just be one thing. So I'm not done with that, but I'll do a show and tell when that is done. One of the other pieces I was playing with yesterday a little bit, is this piece. This I am making into a pendant specifically. So I just did some drawing. Well, I didn't draw, I used a stencil, okay? I can't draw worth much. So I used a stencil, which is the orange on the front of this. I took another stencil and I took some paste and did the green. My plan is to potentially put something over that gives us a bit of a shine to it. And then I did the back as well. So the back, again, you're not going to be, unfortunately, and I apologize for this. It's got some blue and it's got some yellow on it. Let's see, we'll bring it up to the camera. Okay, maybe you can see it a little bit better now. And I did stamp the back of this with a stamp that I have. And the more I look at it, the more I am starting to like it. And I want to see what I can put on this to, again, give it a bit of a color shift. This we made into a pendant that you can wear one way or the other way. Again, I'm big into that. I don't want something that can only be worn one way. If I have this, that you can hang this way or this way, you now have two pieces of jewelry, not just one. And I did different colors again, because maybe you're wearing orange and blue. Oh my gosh, totally getting my colors. Yellow and blue one day, and orange and green another day. And I do want to try and switch up the patterns as well, so it's not the same on both sides. So that's another thing I sort of focus in on doing. And I think it's cool because, well, why not? And I have a piece of jewelry material that I can use so that you'll be able to flip this around. And I'll have to show you some of those things in a future video. But I thought that was kind of cool. So we're not done with this piece yet, but we're getting there, people. And these will get a coat of resin. So I put a coat of resin on this side once I had the orange done. And then I did the green, but I want to put another coat of resin on there. Again, if it's going to be against your skin, I want what I'm putting on these pieces to be protected against the oils from your skin. Especially if you're going to be wearing these in the summertime. Wintertime, here in Canada, you're not going to have to worry about that as much, but one thing I want to get and understand better is how these things interact if it's a really hot, sweaty day outside. Okay, so that's what we're working on. The other pair of ribbon earrings I'm working on right now are these ones. Now, I did attempt to use a marker to bring out the lines of these flowers. Didn't really look right. I did it on just a test piece. Again, took a piece of ribbon and then did it. What's happening is that my markers are, the ink is soaking into the material and it's spreading out. And I don't know if it would make a difference now that I have 2 coats of matte sealer on this, if it would be better. I think I'm just going to leave it, or I'm going to be really careful, and I might take a really fine brush and something that's got a little bit of glitter on it and just go around those. And another thing I thought about doing was taking some nail art pieces that I've got to put over the yellow so they sparkle. Again, I like sparkle. Some people wouldn't. So if I found someone who said, like, these are beautiful, I love them, but can you not put all the bling on them, then absolutely. I want people to see what can be done, though. And there'll be some pieces I make that won't have. They'll just be, here you go, we're done. And that'll be the end of it. I will be doing with these earrings and these earrings the same as what I did with these. Step by step, making sure everything's done to the letter so that, you know, these will last a nice long time. This is a very plain pattern. Not sure if I'm going to do more to it or not, but that'll come to me as time goes on. That's it for today. That's all I have for my show and tell. I wanted specifically to let you know how these guys have turned out, and I'm really pleased with them. Like I say, I took the time and I was patient with them, and I thought, let's make these the best I can make them, and I did. I hope you're having a great day. It's Family Day here in Canada, so this video is going up today on the 19th. I wish you a beautiful afternoon with whatever you get up to. Always be creative. Know you're creative and play. Because as I found yesterday, the more I played, I may have been frustrated when I started, but by the time the day was over, I found something new and unique that I haven't seen before. And I think from a creative standpoint, that's a pretty big win for me. Anyway, have a great afternoon. Take care, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.